Mick?
Hi.
Actually, when I said welcome to the show, I should have said welcome back to Holland.
Yeah.
Because you recorded parts of your album in Barbados, I believe, and was it most of it in the Netherlands?
Yeah, quite a lot. I was here for about 6 weeks in Hilversum.
Yeah, and we have the album here, as a matter of fact, called Primitive Cool. Now, it doesn't look very Dutch to me. I mean, well, maybe this is, was it Dutch?
It's a primitive
here?
Dutch construction.
Ah, I see, I see.
But no, the music was all written before, you know, it's not like, one's not terribly influenced. When you're in the studio, you're in there and
right.
the walls and the preparation's all done. But, you know, you slightly get influenced by what's going on around you.
Yeah, you actually wrote a couple of songs with Dave Stewart, who also helped out with production. But you wrote all of them yourself, or at least co-wrote.
Yeah. I mean, I had 7 I did on my own and 3 with Dave.
Now, on She's the Boss, you did, I think, 6 out of 9.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to get a fresh start on songs? I mean, especially because you used to compose with Keith.
No, I don't find it a problem because Keith and I, we used to compose a lot on our own. I mean, and really only come together quite often to do the song in the studio.
Yeah.
Or just do a little preparation. I like working with another person though.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, I like working with Dave, but on the other hand, it's good to have your own vision of things, you know, as well. So I don't mind. I like to work both ways.
Why did you choose Holland, if I can? I mean, Barbados I can understand, the weather and all that, but...
The rum and all that.
Whatever.
Whatever. But no, the thing about Holland is, I mean, that's a really good studio. And, you know, I think that it was a very quiet time in the winter, and it's not like in the middle of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So I was kind of zeroing in just to doing what I was doing.
So it wasn't for the mountaineering?
Not really, the heights of Hilversum.
Oh, exactly. Do you live in New York still, or?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So you move around a lot. Now, on She's the Boss, you had a whole bunch of people in the studio. You had, I think, Jan Hammer doing overdubs at a certain point. And,
a little bit.
Well, a whole bunch of different people. You seem to have quite a select group with you this time.
This time I made it a bit tighter. The center of the rhythm section is the same people, you know. And so I play some rhythm guitar, and the same drummer, Simon Phillips, and Doug Wimmish, the bass player. Yeah. Jeff Beck's on most of the cuts. So I made the center really tight, and then around it you put these nice things, you know, pipes and keyboards and so on. But the center, so I play that.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know you played that.
Oh, brilliant!
Primitive Cool, which is the title track. Listening to the lyrics of the song, it sounds like 50 questions the kids ask Daddy.
Yeah, the funny thing is that it's quite imaginary because none of my children have ever asked me those questions.
Oh, never? Yeah.
But interviewers do.
Oh, yeah,
They're like my children too. But it's just an imaginary set of questions that we put to you. And it's also set in the future, so it's quite...
Do you mind me asking what your oldest daughters, was it Jade and Karis, I believe?
Yeah.
What have they heard the album at all?
Sure.
What do they think of it?
They think it's shit.
But wait a minute, you pay the rent.
Yeah, I mean, but they have to say nice things, you know. So they always say they like the tune "War Baby."
Oh yeah, that's great. Now you've seen that your new video to "Let's Work." It's although it technically isn't simple, it's a lot different from all the other stuff you've done. Is that because the song doesn't have it in it to do a whole acting video, or? I
wanted to make a simple video, but as you say, the technique is really complex. And I don't want to spoil it by explaining, you know, exactly how you do it. But it's like it's a very complex way of making a home video. Yeah. More or less. But I think the thing about video is that it has to fit the song. So if you have if you want a complex video and so on, sometimes you get lost in it. And I thought this should be really more direct. Yeah, because actually you are getting into acting. I believe a movie is on the way. Well, getting into acting is I don't know. I mean, I've done
it.
some acting, but I don't think it's got anything to do with this really. But in a way that a lot of videos just go over the top and just don't really have anything to do with what's going on. And I like the simplicity of this, and it was it's not a sort of a tough kind of song. And it's a different atmosphere, and the atmosphere has to fit the video, otherwise you're off. Yeah.
Getting back to your album for a second, which is why you're here, of course. Whenever, same as on your last album, you release the album and the media goes crazy. I mean, it's like, oh, Mick Jagger's releasing an album, the Stones are over, you know all this stuff. I mean, why is it that they do that with you? And I mean, Keith and Ron and, you know, they've had their solo projects, Bill,
or Phil Collins and Genesis.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie has his big band and all that. I mean,
I know.
do you see any particular reason for that?
I think that the media really likes to make a story about that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's sort of, but it's an unfortunate position to get into, and I'd just like to step outside the Stones to do these different things. And after 23 years of doing with the Stones, I think I've earned the right to be able to do anything I want in. And I'd like to work with the Stones again, and I hope we're just going to do some more work. But I want also to do other things and
do what you want to do.
Do what I want to do as well.
Yeah, I can understand. No, it's just that the media. I can imagine that it bothers you. The people.
Yeah, well, I think they get used to it now a little bit more.
Yeah.
She's the boss was really a problem.
Yeah.
I must admit.
We had Bill in the studio. Was it 8 or 9 months ago? I don't know if he told you about that. Probably not.
I don't think so.
No. I have a bit of that. Do you want to take a look at that bit of that interview? Hold on a second. Now this is all very high-tech stuff here. This actually is an ice hockey game. I think I would want to show you a bit of that interview. This is quite different. It seems that the interview destroyed itself. We'll get back to the hockey game after that. I saw you rehearsing on stage for what you're going to be doing this evening. Saw that this afternoon. I mean, all the interviewers, of course, ask you, how do you, keep, you're so physically fit, you're dancing around. I mean, I'm not supposed to tire you too much here now with this interview, so you can really go for it.
That was the idea.
But
no, I don't really like to keep fit very much. But I think it's just either born fit or not.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just get fat, and then they just can't run around anymore. But I'm just lucky.
Yeah, but it's not like a whole physical fitness program.
Oh, I don't really believe in it.
No, I'm with you.
I mean,
believe me.
I find it really boring doing that. So, but I mean, it's fun. Sometimes you want to play football and so on. But all that regimentation and weights and all this,
not worth it.
Out the window.
I'll just wing a few last questions at you because to get on with the show here. Let me see. Okay, about the movie, you'll be doing that with David Bowie.
We hope to.
Man.
The thing about movies is you set them up and sometimes they fall to pieces.
Yeah.
But we hope to do that next year.
That's good. I've been reading through a whole bunch of interviews. There's always been talks about you publishing a book.
Well, I'd like to when I'm really, really, really old. But
that'll be another 20, 30 years.
Give it time.
And your favorite, your favorite tunes of the moment besides your own. I mean, is there any special songs?
Is there any real spark out there?
Yeah.
I like You've Got the Look, but that's pretty ancient.
Well,
I like it anyway.
Still up there.
Yeah.
Mick, I'd like to thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
And why don't we mosey on over to the stage and get ready for the Let's Work.
Let's do it. Let's dance with me.
Oh, come on. I'm not that good a dancer.
Hi, I'm David Bowie, and you're watching Countdown, Europe's #1 rock show.